Welcome to the F brand of wrestling and entertainment here on YouTube.com and the World Wide Web, providing you with wrestling news, reviews, rumors, and insight you've grown accustomed to since 2010. My name is JC Styles, and I am back with the Monday Night Raw review for January 21st, 2019. Raw went off the air moments ago, and it was a pretty decent Raw heading into this Sunday's Royal Rumble pay-per-view. Now, the one thing that I do have to say about tonight's episode, I just got really tired of hearing everyone coming out saying, I'm going to win the Royal Rumble and all this. But, case in point, that's what happens when the Royal Rumble is in town. That's just basically like everyone saying, I'm going to WrestleMania. But we start off the show with the Martin Luther King promo, which then leads into a shot of the inside of the arena, and we see Brock Lesnar come out. With Paul Heyman, of course. Paul Heyman starts off stating how they were expecting to get Braun Strowman, but they got Finn Balor. He goes on to say how everyone is standing behind Finn Balor and believes in Finn Balor, and how the fans believe in Finn Balor, and how Paul Heyman believes in Finn Balor, and how with everyone believing in Finn Balor, it is going to be Finn Balor's downfall. They go on to talk about how everyone's going to be the cause of Brock Lesnar making Finn Balor this martyr. Then they go on to talk about the spoilers for Sunday, and then Vince McMahon comes out and talks about how David slew Goliath and how David was put down and resurrected as Finn Balor. Then going back and forth between Brock and Vince, Strowman comes out. Strowman comes out and talks about how he had the worst night of his life last Monday, and that how Brock Lesnar had the luckiest night of his life, and that he doesn't get to face Finn Balor. But no matter what, if he holds on to that title at the Royal Rumble, that Braun Strowman is going to be there waiting. Then Finn comes out and pretty much says he's getting tired of this. It's the same old Monday Night Raw, and he comes out and talks about how it's right, David slew Goliath, and how everyone, didn't believe it would happen, and that it did, and how he believes in fairy tales and Vince McMahon doesn't. And this is the thing that kind of threw me off. And after reading about an article after Raw went off the air, this would have been a perfect segment to kind of bring back the Demon. I thought it would have been pretty nice during the whole Finn Balor the man and Finn Balor this and Finn Balor that. It would have been kind of nice when they talked about Brock Lesnar being the Beast and the Conqueror and all this stuff. Like, how cool would it have been? The lights go off, we hear the heartbeat, and then all of a sudden you see the Demon come out. But according to the article I read earlier, just moments ago before filming this video, Finn wants to show up at the Royal Rumble as Finn Balor the man and slay the Beast. And I thought this would have been kind of cool way to have Finn win the title, because you would have the Demon conquer the Beast. But then this winds up leading into a match between Balor and Braun Strowman, with Balor winning by disqualification. This was actually a pretty good match. You actually got to see Finn in a match with someone a lot bigger than him, and he actually proved that he can go in there and he can actually handle himself and handle someone bigger than him. At one point in this match, Strowman went and grabbed Finn off the top rope and threw him onto an outside Brock Lesnar. Brock Lesnar caught him and did a belly-to-belly suplex. Then from that moment on, it was all Finn. Finn was going in the ring, putting down Strowman, high flying out of the ring, putting Brock Lesnar down. drop kicks, all these things to Brock Lesnar, really putting him on his ass. This closing segments of the night, after hitting a coup de grace, Lesnar jumps in the ring, F5s Finn Balor, then the ref calls for the bell, even though that moments earlier in the match, Brock friggin' suplex Balor right in front of the ref. I thought that was the stupidest part of the night. But anyway, I'm sorry. This was definitely the most stupidest moment of the night. Bobby Lashley comes out with his hype man, Lio Rush, the almighty Bobby Lashley, the new Intercontinental champion, which was supposed to kind of be their, his championship celebration. But he comes out and he does a pose with the Intercontinental Championship. Then Apollo comes out and says how he wants a shot at Bobby Lashley, and it doesn't have to be for the Intercontinental Championship. They go into a pose off, which leads into a brawl, which then leads into a match after we come back from commercial. With the distraction of Lio Rush, of course, Bobby Lashley picked up the win over Cruz, and I'm really disappointed. And the reason is because Cruz has had tremendous talent since debuting in the WWE. He's had tremendous talent since being called up to the main roster, and they continuously misuse him. And he could have been Intercontinental Champion. He could have been Tag Team Champion. Hell, he could have went to SmackDown and been U.S. Champion. I mean, the guy definitely has what it takes to have gold around his waist, and they continuously put him with these stupid angles, and they put him in with Titus Worldwide, and which, although it was great and he got more spotlight, but again, they did nothing with him. And I know they're not going to have him win the Rumble, but when is enough going to be enough for Apollo Crews to finally get his shot and carry some championship gold? Because I would really like to see that, because I do think Apollo Crews can be Intercontinental Champion hands down. We then post-match during the celebration, during the victory win, Rollins comes out to get ready for his match against Drew McIntyre. When we come back from commercial, Rollins comes out and cuts a promo, talks about celebrating Martin Luther King Jr., and talks about a quote that really stood out, and he talks about his upbringing and his passion and fury for wrestling, and how he's going to win the Royal Rumble and go on and win back his Universal Championship. The Universal Championship, sorry, not his. Then McIntyre comes out and pretty much basically just cuts another promo talking about he's going to be the one winning at the Royal Rumble, and that he hopes the two of them are the final two in the ring. We then see Rollins defeat McIntyre. It was a pretty good match. Great match, actually. This is probably match of the night, to be honest with you. Then we go to a backstage segment where the Revival is pleading with Vince to get one more shot at the Tag Team Champions. Wants a special guest referee, someone who's going to call the match right down the middle. And then in comes walking Kurt Hawkins. And Kurt Hawkins pretty much is begging Vince for another match. He wants the streak versus, at Royal Rumble and things like that. Then something was said. I couldn't really quite pick it up, but Vince did, and he talked and turned around and made it that he's going to be the special referee in the Tag Team Championship match. We then see Lucha House Party defeat Jinder Mahal and the Sings. We then see EC3 posing in the mirror, and then Dana Brooke asking him a whole bunch of questions. We see Elias head to the ring. Elias comes out talking about winning the Rumble again. Another Rumble winner, we're talking. Then Corbin comes out, cuts a promo on Elias, and this leads into Corbin versus Elias, with Corbin picking up the win. We then see a moment of bliss. Reveals some of the women competing in the Women's Royal Rumble. Nia Jax is introduced, talks about winning the Rumble, and is interrupted by Ember, Mickie James, Alicia Fox. All come out talking about how they haven't had a fair shot, and how the captain of the women's division is going to win the WWE Women's Rumble. Then, after everything is said and done, then the Riot Squad come out, and Nikki, Tamina, and Dana are all arguing, and it turns out to be a brawl. Once they all go backstage, Alexa says that she will be in the Rumble match, and then Lacey Evans makes her debut and comes out and says that the only one winning the Women's Royal Rumble is a lady, Lacey Evans. We then see Heavy Machinery pick up the win over the Ascension. Pretty good match. I'm really liking Heavy Machinery. At first, I didn't really like them. I didn't really care for them, but then I started watching some of their matches, and they're very, entertaining. I have to say the least. I really enjoy watching these guys. Then we go into a tag team title match, which was pretty good. We see numerous attempts by the Revival to try to pick up a dirty win, and they get caught by Kurt Hawkins. We then see Bobby Roode and Chad Gable defeat and retain the tag team titles over the Revival. Post-match, we see them all arguing in the ring. Kurt Hawkins and the Revival. They go to the replays and they show all the things that they were trying to do to try to win. And then as Kurt Hawkins is going to leave the ring, he winds up getting punched and attacked by the Revival, and then out comes Mr. Woo Woo Woo, Zack Ryder. Throwback to Hawkins and Ryder. And honestly, I hope that this is a way they turn this around with Zack Ryder and Kurt Hawkins, because they were both great as a tag team when they were running with Edge, and then they broke away from Edge, and then they were they were good as a tag team. Then they broke them up, and then Zack went off and did his U.S. Championship run, and he did the whole thing with Eve Torres and John Cena and Kane, and then never really got anything else out of that. So it'd be nice to see if these guys get thrown back together as a tag team, because I think these guys would be better as a tag team, especially with WWE not having much tag teams. It'd be nice to see them reform. Then the last match of the night is Ronda Rousey and Natalya versus Sasha Banks and Bayley. Good match, good storytelling. Before this match, Ronda was cutting a promo and she was talking about how she begged for Sasha to take the match against her at the Royal Rumble, and how Sasha walks around saying how she's the boss and she's living this glamorous lifestyle, but she's not a champion. And she talks about how at the Royal Rumble she's going to show what a boss is like and how she's a bitch and all this stuff. And then we go into the match, and the match was pretty good for what it was worth. Good storytelling, like I said. And then we wind up actually seeing Ronda get her very first loss on live TV, which is weird, which is funny. But all in all, like I said, I kind of got tired of hearing people saying, "Oh, I'm going to come out and win the Royal Rumble." Like, I got tired of it. Good Raw. Solid. Could have been better. Could have been a lot better. Who am I kidding? I'm really looking forward to NXT this Saturday. I will have a SmackDown review for you guys. All in all, tonight's Raw, I would probably give it about a 3.5 out of 5. But like I said, content coming this week for Ec3 Wrestling. I will have a SmackDown review up for you guys tomorrow. Wednesday, I will be uploading the Royal Rumble predictions. I will also be doing a Royal Rumble video where I talk about some of my favorite moments of the Royal Rumble match and pay-per-view. And then Wednesday night, I'll be bringing you guys your NXT review. Also, please, tomorrow, stay tuned over on our sister channel, Ec3 Entertainment, where I'm going to have the very first episode of Retro Save Point. For those of you that don't know what Retro Save Point is, I'll let you know again. It will be me sharing with you guys some of the games that I played when I was a child on retro consoles that I hold very near and dear to my heart. It is going to be a weekly episode. Every episode is going to contain 3 levels, so that way it's not you guys sitting there watching me for like 5 hours playing one game. And I'll break it up into episodes, so make sure you guys keep an eye out for that. And yeah, so guys, like I said, gonna have some good content coming for you this week. SmackDown review, Rumble predictions, favorite Rumble matches and pay-per-views, NXT review. So guys, for the effing brand of wrestling and entertainment here on YouTube.com and the World Wide Web, thanks for watching and stay tuned.